Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and wish all of you a very happy 2023. It's because 2024 is only going to get happier. Let's talk about India. So much has been spoken about India in 2023, and now when we enter 2024, if you look at the kind of infrastructure budget allotments that have happened to this industry, it is massive. A 10 lakh crore in capex have been allotted in the union budget last year. We are already the fifth largest economy, and we will be the third largest global construction market by 2030. You can see 50,000 kilometers of highway added, 74 new airports, 111 national waterways since 2014. However, a lot of growth has happened. Why is this happening? There is a lot of urbanization which is undergoing. About 40% of the total population is going to be urbanized by 2023. With so much urbanization, it will also lead to shortage of the housing units, which were already short last year by 19 million units. By 2030, we would be in a shortage of about 25 million units. The construction is reaching 1 trillion by 2030 and would be contributing to about 13% of the GDP. Buildings are really crucial and critical, be it housing units or be it commercial units. You see offices, warehouses, data centers springing up everywhere to be able to suffice to the needs of the Indians as we grow year on year. However, this growth is paradoxical in nature because it is definitely not sustainable. And why is it not sustainable? Let's have a look at the building blocks. And why I say blocks, while we build, it also blocks out a lot of efficiencies and sustainabilities. Buildings today account for 40% of global energy emission. The residential and commercial combined are responsible for 28% of the GHG emission from the real estate sector. The HVAC utilized by these buildings take up 60% of energy which is given to a building and ends up wasting 30% of that energy because it is inefficient, outdated systems which were supposed to work manually. People were supposed to run them, man-running machines. Of course, it was supposed to be inefficient. Now, looking beyond buildings, why all these inefficiencies are created? Because when people build buildings, they want to see beautiful facades, nicer interiors, minimalist and maximalist. That's what interior designers think about, but who's really thinking about how to design the machines in them? For example, when you put a HVAC system, the kind of load it should be taking so it doesn't end up wasting the amount of energy that it wastes in running, be it in extreme heat or be it when it requires a lot of warmer temperature like now. In fact, in a building, 75% of the carbon emissions are not generated at the construction stage, but during the entire lifetime of the buildings, because buildings are meant to last for at least 4 to 5 decades and not some years. And that's 75% of wastage. And if sustainability was at the heart of creating these buildings, there would be an efficiency and savings of around 30 to 40% by these buildings itself. So what is really important is moving beyond the facades and the murals and actually understanding about buildings, knowing your buildings, treating them like living, breathable entities so you know about what is a building utilizing, wasting, consuming, or efficient for. In a building, even like a habitat center, for example, these are disconnected buildings. A building was created, some system was put into to running it, and now there are people who might or might not be seeing it. They have fragmented data. There is no real-time viewing on how the energy is being utilized, how the water is being wasted, and this hampers a lot of sustainability efforts. In fact, since we are sitting in the Habitat Center, if our automation was put in place, we would have been able to save about 4 million of GHG emissions in the first year of operations. In the city of Delhi, in the first year of operations, we would have been able to save 600 millions of GHG emissions and 6.5 billions of GHG emissions in India itself. And I'm just talking the commercial real estate right now. I'm not even getting into housing. So what do we do to create them into living, breathing entities? Knowing about building becomes critical. And what all should you know about your building? Not who's the developer, what is the PIN code, what is the address, what are the Google Maps, but is this a compliant building? Does it have the necessary green certification? What are the sort of building codes that it operates on? The energy that it utilizes? the sort of HVAC it runs on, so that one understands whether the temperatures are maintained or it's just wasting a lot of energy attributed to it. How is the water being utilized in a building? And more so, with the advent of AI and machine learning, can it also deliver insights on how to optimize the building further, better? How could it be used better? What are the things that could make this building much greener? Now imagine a building. Instead of thinking of what is the material that it is made of, what is the kind of paint, for a second, if a building would look like this, that it would be able to show you what is the environmental impact that it's creating, what is the maintenance cost that it's incurring year on year, what is the saving it has been able to generate, the alerts that have been generated, what are the tenant comforts, what if it's able to tell you that with regard to the air quality outside, how is the indoor building operating. What if it's able to tell you that even in the maintenances of the building, what are the different aspects which require your attention more than the others? And for this, we at Enlight have created this solution. We have created a solution called Know Your Building. Know Your Building, KYB, is supposed to be like a digital identity of the buildings, just like KYC changed people's life forever. What does a Know Your Building actually do? Know Your Building is an interplay of hardware and software. This hardware makes a building autonomous. Putting this wireless hardware across any building helps you take care of running all the building operations autonomously without any kind of a person's requirement there, which means whether now it is your cooling systems, heating systems, water systems, energy, elevator, fire systems, plumbing systems, these machines are going to take the decisions on how to operate these systems. And at the other end of this wireless hardware is a AI and machine learning enabled platform, which not only shows this real-time data, but also using the platform, you can do a forecast of how this building is going to operate. One can even take remote controls. Since these are wireless controllers, one can take remote controls of deciding even to turn equipment on and off from any place. The impact that it is going to create is about 20 to 30% of cost saving and emissions. Water usage can be cut down easily by 15 to 20%. It contributes to the SDG goals like 7 and 11, which is the affordable clean energy and the sustainable cities and community. And if a solution like Know Your Building is put to scale, then what it is actually able to do is a very simplistic number for all of us to be relate to well. It is equivalent to shutting down about 300 coal plants and taking off 200 million cars off the road. Now, I've spoken a lot about data, but eventually how does it create the impact? So the SDG 7, 9, 11 and 13, which talks about affordable clean energy, industry innovation, sustainable cities, communities, and climate action, is all sufficed by Know Your Building, by the innovative technology it delivers, by the sustainability it creates, the indoor air quality it maintains for all the occupants. So it's just not sticking and adhering to the sustainable goals, but also it increases the asset value inside a building and helps in data for decision making. What we have been able to deliver through Know Your Building in last 1 year itself is across a 13 million square feet of an area, our controllers today take about 2 lakh decisions of optimization per minute, and we have been able to save about 15 million GHG emissions across different kinds of commercial real estate in 1 year itself. However, what is extremely important is collaboration here, because no matter if Enlight talks about it or there could be even 10 more companies talking about it, it is very critical that the government, business and communities come together to be able to deliver on what the SDG demands and requires for. So whether it is retrofitting, renewable, sustainable material, net zero buildings, the green tech or the green workforce, the incentivization, setting up of targets, deployment, investment and researches, from these 3 pillars require a lot of collaboration to be able to finally deliver a sustainable built world if we are really targeting 2030. And while I end my presentation, I would just end it with one quote by Sir David Attenborough. If working apart, we are a force powerful enough to destabilize our planet, surely working together, we are powerful enough to save it. Thank you.